Okay, everybody. I hope we are currently live. Looks like we are. Yeah, all right. It worked. First time using a custom stream here for a live event, and I didn't know if it was going to work. So I'm glad to see that it did. And looks like our streaming quality is reasonably good. I'll pause that so that we don't have to see it. All right. Hello, Ian. Good to see you. Hope you're well. For those who are tuning in, we are going to be flying, practicing real-world cross-country today that I meant to practice yesterday, but I had all kinds of problems with the sim. But things seem to be working, and today we're going to be flying down to Fort Myers and back. I'm going to fly this flight in the real world if the weather is permitting on Monday. Solo, my first cross-country solo. So I want to make sure I had a chance to practice it again today. I've been down there once with the instructor. I've simmed it once before, but I'm ready to do it again. And I'm also streaming this on, doing this on PilotEdge. So if there are folks out there who want to join and fly along, if you are a PilotEdge member and you load into St. Pete here, you're welcome to join me on the flight or to come along at any other particular point. So this is going to be a longer flight. This is probably going to be about 2.5 hours. I don't expect people to necessarily be along every step of the way, but I am going to fly it by the book, at least as much by the book as I can, and get myself where I am supposed to be and doing what I'm supposed to do. So I will get to that straight away. Okay, today's route of flight. We're going to take off from St. Pete, Albert Whitted. We're going to fly west over St. Pete Beach. Then we're going to head outside of the Bravo airspace for staying clear of the 1,200-foot shelf of the Bravo airspace for Tampa International along Edgemont Key. Then we'll kind of follow the coast along Anna Marie Island. We're going to go up to 4,500 feet so we can fly over the top of the Sarasota Charlie airspace and over the top of Venice Airport at 4,500 feet. Then at that point we will start to descend. Why do I want to stay high over Venice? Because it is, so to speak, because it's a really busy untowered field, and there's a lot of people coming and going, and it's better to just stay out of the fur ball. Then we'll descend, start descending about the time we get to Charlotte Harbor. We need to be ready to duck under the Fort Myers Charlie airspace to land at Page. We'll do a touch and go at Page, and then head almost due north up to Arcadia. Things to look out for there. There's quite a few towers, 1,500-foot towers just to the east of our route of flight. We will go up at 2,500 feet. We'll do a touch and go at Arcadia. Then we're going to track the LaBelle 312 radial out of the LaBelle VOR all the way up to Ruskin, which is a visual reporting point. The main visual reporting point also there that you can see is we'll be going over a relatively large lake before we get back to the Tampa area. There's a power plant there. You can see it stacks from quite a ways away. We want to look out for a tower there too. There's a very large tower, unlit, 1,700-foot tower just west of my route of flight that the instructor calls the Needle of Death. We're obviously going to want to avoid the Needle of Death if we possibly can. And then once we get to Ruskin, once we get to that part of the Tampa area, we'll need to start thinking about airspace again. We'll need to be under the Bravo for Tampa. And when we get to Ruskin, we'll need to be at 1,000 feet. And then it's a short hop over the bay where we hope the motor keeps working. And then we'll land again at Albert Whitted. Total distance is 186 nautical miles. With current winds, it should be about an hour and 44 minutes en route. Touch and goes again at Page, at Arcadia, and then back to Whitted. The weather here today is not great, so I'm not running real-world weather. What I did is I downloaded the real-world weather, and then I moved the clouds up to above 12,000 feet. It's supposed to, and made them few. It's supposed to be few above 12,000 on Monday. I kept the winds as they are today, though, just so I could, fly with the winds as they're showing up. We're also running world traffic, so The needle of death, that's right. It is, we're running world traffic, and so we've got, we'll have traffic going in and out, and we also have the real world flight schedule for Tampa International, so we'll be having, you know, traffic going in and out of KTPA as it should be. Flying the Piper Archer, which is the plane that I'll be flying on Monday. Everything else I'm going to kind of do by the books. I was hoping somebody would jump in on PilotEdge, but I haven't seen anybody. It's before that network opens. I posted on the Discord server that I was going to make the flight, but that doesn't always get seen by everybody. So we'll see if anybody joins or not. And let me just go over to PilotEdge's website real quick. Quite a few people on the network early, but looks like I'm the only one out in this neck of the woods. So we'll see if anybody decides to join along. If not, we'll just be talking to ourselves, and that's okay too. Okay, back to ForeFlight. Okay, so time en route, we've got multiple legs here. We should be about 5 minutes out to St. Pete Beach, about 8 minutes down to Anna Maria Island, then about 20 minutes down to Venice. 19 actually, 24 down to Fort Myers from there, about 20 minutes from Fort Myers up to Arcadia, and then about 24 minutes up to Ruskin, and then 5 minutes across the bay. Okay, Jim, that'd be great. I'll wait for you. How fast is the Archer? Not very fast, Jim. It's about 100, I'll be going probably 100, 105 knots, maybe 110. You can fly along in any single engine GA aircraft, a 172, an Archer, an Arrow, you know, anything like that. An SR-20 if you went slow. Type of response in there. So I'll wait for you to load in, Jim. In the meantime, all right, so James Elder is a guy who watches on YouTube and has been a reader of the website, and has contributed quite a bit in terms of helping me understand how to use some of the virtual flying that we can do online, and would love to have him join along. So that would be wonderful, Jim, if you can load in, that would be great. Yeah, great. I'll be on 123.45. All right, so he's going to join in a Cessna 172. That'll be great. Okay, so while Jim is getting ready to load in here, I'll track that on the PilotEdge map here so I can see when he's joined me. You can hear an airplane coming in right now. Oh, just landed. Twin just landed. And we can go. All right, Jim, that sounds great. I'll do the radio calls. You can trail me. We'll do a flight of 2. That sounds perfect. Okay, so I'm going to get fired up, Jim, and then you can join me when you're online. Okay, so I'm going to go through the real checklist here, guys. We've done the walk around. Avionics is off. Beacon and nav lights are on. Circuit breakers are punched. Fuel tank is over to the left tank. We've got plenty of gas. Carburetor heat is off. Mixture is full rich. Throttle in 1/4 inch. Brakes are good. We would yell clear prop. Turn on the master switch. Fuel pump on. Clip up. Okay, that's working. If the folks online could give me a audio check, that would be great. I can hear a little click coming from the butt kicker software. It's a little staticky. I'm just going to quickly fix that. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so let me know how the audio is, guys, online, please, when you have a chance. Okay. Our oil pressure looks good. Fuel pressure is looking good. Turn our fuel pump back off. That all's starting to look good. Oil temperature is starting to come up. Avionics on. Lucas, thanks for the report on the audio. I appreciate it. Okay, we've got a couple people joining us here online. This is great. We've got me. We've got Roger. Okay. We'll go over to 123.45 and we'll get a radio check. A2746, radio check. PilotEdge crashed, explain, we'll need a minute, okay. Hey Renzo, glad to have you here. Slightly distorting at times. Okay, Ian, I will turn down the mic a little bit. Thank you for telling me. Let me know how that is. It was coming in a little hot the other day. Okay. Roger's on 123.4. Let me see if I can, anybody's hearing me. Radio check. Radio check on 123.45. His radios might not be on yet. Let's see. Let's get the ATIS 118.875.
Albert Whitted information November. 1300 Zulu weather. Wind 060 at 14, visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 10,500 few, temperature 19, dew point -2. Altimeter 3014. Arriving runway 36, departing runway 36. Advise on initial contact you have November.
Okay, thanks for that, Ian. Glad it's better. Hello from the Bahamas. Hi, Mark. Okay, we're going to listen to that weather freak one more time.
Albert Whitted information November. 1300 Zulu weather. Wind 060 at 14.
Okay.
Visibility more than 10.
Let's see if anybody's on here now. Radio check on 123.45. Hmm.
7365, here's you.
Okay, Roger, thanks. I am just, I'm fired up here. Jim Elder is going to fly with us. His PE crashed, or his sim crashed. He's going to be loading in a second, and then we'll go out as a flight, if you've got another minute.
Yeah, I can't stay on here. We're getting ready to leave. Like I said yesterday, I just wanted to stay on, come on here and say hey, and nice to meet you, so to speak.
You too, thanks. You stick around. Yeah.
And until my wife opens the door and looks at me, then I gotta go.
Okay, everybody, you gotta hang on for just 1 second.
I say I watched your videos from the beginning, man. I'm really jealous of what you have in your basement. Well, closet now, but I love it.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. I hate to do this to everybody. I just got a tap on the shoulder here. I think one of my children might have hurt himself. So I'm gonna keep everything running, but I'll be back in just 1 second.
All right, well, I'm going to take that as I got to go myself, so you take care, have a good flight. See you next time.
You too, thanks. For the folks online, I'll be right back.
And I hope he's okay.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, you're right. We're burning nav gas, and we've now fouled the plugs. Let's lean the airplane and let it burn off a little bit. Okay. Yeah, everything's fine. My son was riding his bike. Living in Florida, of course, we were riding our bike in flip-flops. And he dragged his foot on the ground and kind of got it caught, and he cut his toe up pretty bad. But he's okay, and Mrs. Basement is now back, and she's giving him some first aid. He'll be all right, but my little girl was tapping me on the shoulder, and she said, "I know when you're doing this, I'm not supposed to bother you unless it's an emergency." I said, "Well, you can, this is an emergency, so you did the right thing." Okay, so we're back. Jim, get here when you can. Let's see, I've got my altimeter set. Where was I? Let's go back. This is why we have checklists. Flaps are up. Okay, we're full flaps up. That's good. Avionics or radios are good. We get the weather, then we'll go over to tower. Tower is 127.4.
1400 Zulu weather. Wind 060 at 14.
Yeah.
Visibility more than 10.
Okay, wind 060. That means we're just going to go off on 07, which is the airport runway right in front of us. There's a compass rose here that you usually go off on. Mark, glad to hear. I hope it's all okay. There's a compass rose here that we usually go out and we'll do our run-ups at. The airplane right now is taxiing out. We'll see if it goes where it's supposed to. I don't know that the ground routes I made for Whitted here are necessarily very accurate. What we would do is we would, does it get warm in the sun? It can. I've got a door open behind me, which helps quite a bit. And I've got a little fan right here that I can switch on if I'm too hot. And it's running, so that helps. I just turned it on. Although it's a little too warm right now, too cool, running too much right now. There we go. Okay. We've got the fan if we need it. That airplane is going off as it should. Although we can take off from the displaced threshold right in front of us. So we'll wait for him to go. And now we'll start simulating our calls. Jim, sorry to hear it, man. Would love to have you join me. If anybody else is watching and is on PilotEdge, you're welcome to join me here at Albert Whitted for the flight. Okay, we've got the weather. Tower here is 127.4, right? Ground is 121.8. I'm going to simulate all my calls just so you guys know. Transponder, we're squawking VFR, we're altitude, altimeter I've already set, brakes are set, compass. Let's do a quick control checks. Aileron, rudder. Okay, elevator. Our compass and directional gyro agree. Okay, so we'd now switch over and call tower. Whitted Tower, Archer 82746, St. Pete Air. We're going to do a quick run up and then west departure. Not the most eloquent call in the world, but it'll work. Take off the parking brakes. Yeah, it'll be cooler at 4,000 feet, that's for sure. Okay, looks like things are working on the stream okay. When we do the run up here, Oh, and I didn't mention, today's flight is brought to you by the world champion Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. Okay, got that done. All right, when we do the run up here by the, when we're going off on 07, we taxi down and sort of do a quick pivot here. Kind of like this. Sort of point back at our parking spot. Okay. Hey Mike, we're flying out of Whitted again today. Okay. Mike, if you're on PilotEdge, jump in and join the flight. Alright, run up, brakes are set and hold. Everybody's streets are strapped, harnesses are set, belts are set, cabins are locked, doors are shut, that's latched, primer is in and locked. Fuel selector, we're over to the left tank, which is the fullest tank. It's actually not now because we've been sitting here burning gas on the ground. We'll go back over to right. There we go. Flight controls are free and correct. Aileron, aileron, elevator, elevator, rudder, rudder. Fuel pump is on. We have fuel pressure. Fuel pump off. Perfect. Mixture is rich. Elevator trim set to neutral. Test our enunciation panel. Air conditioner, we don't have one. Throttle up to 2,000. Okay, going to left, right magnetos. Going to left magnetos. Air, carb heat. Oil pressure is good, fuel pressure is good, oil temperature is good, amperage is good, suction is good. Come back out of the throttle. Yes, well, move those controls. Well, Monster actually did a control check before I got to this point, but if it makes you happy for me to do it all the way, there you go, Monster. Trust me, I've moved my rudder pedals at full deflection. Okay. Okay, fuel pump on, landing light on, strobes on. Carb heat is off. Mixture is full in. Mixture set, throttle. Switch over to tower. Whitted Tower, Archer 82746, holding short 07, ready for takeoff. They would tell me that I'm clear for takeoff, and they would tell me to make a, from here on this wind, they would probably tell me to make a right downwind departure. Right downwind departure, 82746. Okay. Anybody coming? Don't see anybody coming. No, you're right about the habits. It's just with this thing where it's just I hit my knees. But you're right. Full deflection is exactly what we should do. Okay. We're on the center line. Our compass and our directional gyro agree. Engine instruments are green. Full power. Okay. RPM is as expected. Engine instruments are green. Airspeed's alive. on the center line, rotation speed. And I think that the engine noise is a little loud. Wouldn't you guys agree? So I'm going to turn it down a little bit. At least it sounds really loud to me. Let me know if that's better or if it's too quiet now. Okay, we're going to pitch for 76. Now, 1,200 feet here is the Tampa Bravo, so we fly runway heading until about 500 feet, then we make our turn. And then pattern altitude to 800 feet. And this is pretty good. We're usually at pattern altitude about by here in the turn. Make our turn onto the upwind leg. I guess the downwind leg, right? Keeping it at 800 feet. Once we're on the ground here, we are okay to go up to 1,000 feet. Okay, we can go up to 1,000 now. And we can start to fly west. Trim the airplane. Okay, we want to hold it here till we're past St. Pete, so in case any big Airbuses are flying in, they don't get us. St. Pete Airport, PIE. When the Airbuses are coming in on this runway, they fly over the top here. It's not usually where you want to be. Okay, let's start our timer. 30 minutes. And we'll start the stopwatch here in a second when we get to our first checkpoint. It's just right off the beach here. Okay, we're past St. Pete. Now we can climb up to 2,000. Yeah, Mike, I know, but some people have said they wanted to fly together. So if they were PilotEdge members, it gives them the ability for us to talk to each other and make CTAF calls together. I appreciate that the traffic doesn't control, that they don't cover Florida with ATC, but it gives us an ability to do multi-flights easily. Mark, you can fly uncontrolled, yeah, as long as it's not Western US, because you have to have a subscription for Western US, you can fly anywhere in the world and talk on CTAF or on 127.4. or 123.45, they model the radio transmission distances, so you're not going to step on anybody's frequency if you're on a CTAF frequency or something like that. Got like this weird, this happens sometimes when I launch XEnviro. I can see that blue line out there. I think that's a residual from the XEnviro haze layer that it makes. It's interesting. And it makes it so that it's hard to see things at a distance. It like doesn't load the textures. Let's see. Okay, we got to stay below 3,000 feet here until we're out of the Bravo airspace. probably just busted it in the simulated world, but I was screwing with XEnviro, which is not something I would be doing in the real world. Yeah, so now I see it. Now let me turn XEnviro off. I wonder if it goes away. Oh, now it's better. Huh, interesting. We'll get that fixed in a second. Thanks, Colin. All right, let's start our trip. We made our first checkpoint. So I want to create some weather here real quick. So what I'm just going to do real quick is, because I want to have the same real world weather, is I'm going to just download it real quick. And the weather on Monday is supposed to be good, clear skies, some broken or scattered above 12,000. So I'm going to take this cumulus layer and just drag it up and make it few. Huh, and then it put, that's interesting. It's when I went to manual that it put that weird haze layer in there. I don't know if you guys can see, but it gave me this black line across here. That's when I went to manual weather that it did that. Maybe because of the visibility it's got set. Let's see. Visibility as 12 miles, that's why. Let's go and take it up to 60. Fixed it. There we go. Now I know what was causing that. Okay, now we can climb up to 4,500 feet. We want to get over the Bravo, or we want to get over the Charlie airspace. And we just have to stay water side of Edgemont Key down here, and then we'll be good with that. Okay, I don't have a heading bug in the airplane I fly in the real world, so I'm just going to track. Although if I'm doing VFR navigation, we would just fly this side of Edgemont Key. And here I would probably be listening to Tampa departure on 125.3 just for the heck of it. I won't even bother to try to get flight following because the fact of the matter is they're not giving it to anybody these days. I'm going to go up to Sun and Fun 2 for sure. Okay, coming up to 4,500 feet. Level off to cruise. I like to fly this airplane at about 2,400 RPM. Get ourselves trimmed here. And then I've got a story to tell about recent difficulties with the sim. Okay, cruise checklist, power set, a mixture. Let's lean it back just a bit. There we go. And fuel pump off, landing light off, strobe off. Or strobe on, don't want to turn the strobe off. Okay. Set for cruise. No, we don't have to say that we're students. That's not necessary. Okay, the only thing I want to be really making sure of here is that I'm staying out of that Bravo airspace. And I actually usually fly with that view. Okay. This is good. 4,500 will put us over the top of the Sarasota Charlie. Won't have to worry about that. Flight chops. I don't think I've ever seen flight chops. 120 knots ground speed. That's good. I'm liking that. So yesterday I tried to get this up and running now that we're up here cruising. And also, just so you guys know, I'd like to see I'd like to have a sense of how you're able to hear how the volume is of my audio versus the motor. So yesterday I tried to fly this and I had a terrible time. 3 strikes and you're out. USB devices were crashing, the SIM crashed. Now that still might happen, we'll see. But it was quite frustrating. So I did a couple of things today. One thing I did is I adjusted my, make sure that we stay out of that Bravo shelf there. I adjusted my USB devices a little bit in terms of hubs. But I realized that SPAD.next, which is what I use to talk to all the FIPs and the SPAD gear, is I realized that it was running the last non-beta version. And I had the download updated betas checked off. And when I checked that back on, it downloaded a brand new version and a new X-Plane plugin, and things seem to be working much better. So it all seems to be still working. Yep. The clock's working. That's good. Okay, coming up to the tip of Anna Marie Island, that's our next checkpoint. That took us 7 minutes. It's supposed to take 8, so that's good. Now we're going to fly a heading of about 148 down direct Venice. Now Venice I will be able to see pretty well. So now let's do our next lap. That would be a good idea. We've got orthographic scenery, which is looking good. Traffic beneath us, it's not showing up on this for some reason. Usually would be. I'm not quite sure why. But there was just a departure out of someplace, or maybe, let's presume they're not. Yeah, a regional jet just went out below us there, coming out of Sarasota. Didn't show up on the traffic. Let's just make sure that I've got aircraft set. Here, yeah, I've got 8 IRF. Well, usually the traffic shows up on here, but not that time. Interestingly, it didn't show up on my ForeFlight either. I think it depends on where it loads those aircraft is coming from. Interesting. Well, that's why we have to keep our head on a swivel here. .148 is the heading we want to fly. We're flying 148. 4,500 feet. I don't, Colin. I've done that quite a bit. The question is when prepping in the real world, do you still draw lines on the chart and use the calculator slide rule? I will for this flight. Well, I did the first time I did the flight with the instructor. I need to check my flight log with an instructor tomorrow or Monday when I do this. I'll probably have ForeFlight run the flight log just because it saves an awful lot of time and energy. The wind data is really accurate, and I know how to do it. So I've planned lots of real flight logs. I used to do it in the sim just for practice, and I've done it for cross countries and things like that. So I don't feel like I get any value out of it. I'll do one every once in a while just to make sure that I'm staying, current and consistent with it. But it's not something I really try to do a lot. So what I'll do is I'll plan the flight in ForeFlight, which is my electronic flight bag, and then I will write out the flight log on my kneeboard just as I've done here today, and then I'll review it with an instructor, and then that'll help me make sure that I'm going where I'm supposed to go and doing what I'm supposed to do. Oh, so I was telling the story of the SciTech gear. Yeah, so the good news is everything seems to be working. And, that's what I was hoping for, is that it would fix the problems that I was having. Now it's giving me some traffic. Sarasota. But it's not giving me traffic here. I wonder if I have it set to read traffic. Let's look at the GNS configuration screen really quick. I would think that I do. No, it all seems to be fine. So, I guess it's just not showing me traffic as much as it could. We'll just need to keep our eyes peeled, just like the real world. Especially through here, this coastline is very busy usually with aircraft. If we want to do that, I'll get tested on using the GPS. I probably won't use it, but I'll get tested on it. So the bottom line is the new SPAD.next beta and the new X-Plane plugin that goes with it fixed my problems. The SPAD stuff is working great. No problems. I feel like it's not as much of a draw on the computer as it was before. So all told, I'm a happy camper with all that stuff. Wonder how I clear the direct. Oh, there you go. That's helpful. Right, I probably would have a visual reporting point of Sarasota Airport. It's right across from us. if I was doing this on the paper charts, but I'm just going straight to Venice. And we're about the right way to do that. We're on about the right heading to do that. Venice Airport is right on the coast, and it's sort of right down in here. And we've got a wind taking us, so that's one of the reasons I'm not pointed directly at it. We've got a crossed tailwind coming across us from this side. So if you've been having trouble, ooh, I crept up on altitude, I'm not paying attention. It's gotta be better, more disciplined than that. If you're having trouble with your SciTech gear in X-Plane, make sure that you've checked the settings and you're downloading the most recent betas. He's been updating the beta several times, but he only updates a full release every once in a while. So my version was several versions old, and it's made a difference now. Get back to our altitude where we're supposed to be. We're still on top of the Charlie. Now we're going to be clearing the Charlie airspace here in just a second. That's the end of the Sarasota Charlie. But Venice is a very busy airport, and I want to stay above it. So we will stay at 4,500 feet. And now I will probably switch over to Venice so I can be listening to what's going on there. And let's get a recent
Venice Muni weather. Wind 070 at 14, visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 11,000 few, temperature 19, dew point -13. Altimeter 3014.
Okay. Altimeter's still good. Go over to its CTAF 122.725.
Venice Muni weather. Wind 07.
So Venice Airport's right here. And again, we're going to go over the top of it at 4,500 feet. I don't, well, I've had conflicting advice from different instructors about whether or not you make a radio call when you're going over that altitude or not. I would like to, because I don't want them to be wondering if I'm around or not. And so where are we? We're now 10 miles, 9 miles out. When I'm 5 miles out, I'll tell them that we are going to be going over the top to the southeast at 4,500 feet. All right. Once we're over the top of Venice, which is going to be in just another minute or two now, I can see it down there. You can see it over here on the GNS. Then we're going to take a slightly different heading. We're going to fly a heading of 136. And we're going to start angling for Fort Myers. And I programmed the sim to bring traffic into there. I am disappointed I'm not seeing sim traffic on the scope. I wonder if I just need to kill the AI traffic and then bring it back again. Maybe I can't have more than 6 or something. There might be, I think there is a limit. Let's see if that gives me some traffic now or not. Because we definitely have traffic. Yeah, I can see some traffic there on ForeFlight. Okay, so coming up to Venice. I can see it down there. Getting pretty good performance. One thing I'd like to see X-Plane do better is cloud shadows. I was able to get some really awesome jeez, can't say that. Really awesome cloud shadows in prepared, and I miss them. I've always missed them in X-Plane. I think having kind of dramatic shadows on the ground really makes a difference. They're kind of flickery in the beta. It's on the bug list. They're going to fix it, but you know, sometimes cloud shadows, especially from an altitude, are really distinct. And I'd like to have them be more distinct than they are here. All right, coming up to Venice. How are we doing on our time? It's going to be 19 minutes, and we are at 15, so we're going a little faster than we thought we were going to go. And with the tailwind, our ground speed's about 120 knots, so that has something to do with that. So Venice traffic, where are we, 122? Venice traffic, Archer 82746, passing over the top of the field 4,500 to the southeast Venice. All kinds of crazy stuff goes on at Venice that I've heard. People on conflicting runways, and it's nutty. It's just a busy, popular airport. Hello, Gennaro. Thank you for tuning in today. Okay, we're over Venice. That took us 16 minutes. We planned 19, so we're a little ahead of schedule. Now we're going to fly heading of 136, which is about right. About right here. And we're going to stay at 4,500 feet till we're kind of past Venice, and then I'm going to start a descent. Now, if we're doing real descent planning, one thing we could do is we could use the VNAV on this. And we could say that we want to be at 1,000 feet MFL. What is the Charlie airspace there? The Charlie airspace there is 1,200. So that I want to be at 1,000 feet. We could say 5 miles before Page. So 1,000 feet MSL is fine, but we could do AGL as well. So 1,000 feet. 1,000 feet. Well, it's not giving me AGL, so if it's going to be MSL, let's see, we want to be, yeah, it's 17 feet, so that's fine. 5 miles before. Wonder why it's not letting me. This is why it's good for me to learn how to use this in the sim. Interesting that it's not quite let me do that the way I want to. I guess I have to have a direct in here before it'll let me. So maybe I have to go, maybe if I go K, FMY. Then if I go to VNav, yeah, and that'll let me do it. So 1,000 feet, 5 miles before FMY. And then what I can do is I could actually put VNav up on here if I wanted to, so I could see it as one of the fields. But the easier thing to do is to just do it in your head sometimes. So we know that we're at 4,500 feet. We've crept up a little bit here, but if we're at 4,500 feet and we want to be flying oh, there's our timer. So time to switch tanks. Fuel pump. Fuel pump is positive. There we go. Fuel flow is positive. Looks like we're loading scenery. Switch tanks. Okay. Yeah, we're definitely loading scenery. Okay, so we've switched tanks. And okay. Sorry about that. I had a message coming to me on my watch I was looking at. Okay, so if we want to lose 4,500 feet, we want to lose 3,500 feet to be at 1,000, and we want to be 5 miles before the airport when we do that. That means we've got to lose 3,500 feet. If we plan to lose 3,500 feet at 500 feet a minute, it's going to take us 7 minutes to do that. If we're going a ground speed of 120 knots, 7 minutes is 14 miles. So 19 miles out, we want to start our descent. Well, we can see there we're 33 miles out. So whether it's on my chart or it's something I'm looking at with the GPS, by 19 miles out, I want to start the descent. So that's going to be, looking at the chart, just about the time we get wet, we pass over the top of Charlotte Harbor. So when we get over on this side of the water, when we just hit the water, hopefully we don't hit the water, we'll want to start that descent profile. Okay. Questions. If anybody has any questions, now would be a good time. We've got a few minutes here still in cruise before we have to start our descent. The rotunda, can we see the rotunda? Yeah, we can see the rotunda right down there. Also, we've got an airport coming up here. Coral Creek. If we had a problem, we'd put it down in Coral Creek. It's right over there. We're within gliding distance of that now. start getting ready for our radio frequencies when we go into page. ATIS is 123.725. Now we can also listen to that on 2, which is what I would actually do in the actual airplane, 123.725. And I'd be ready to go over to their tower, which is 119.0. So things I hope for in future X-Plane releases. I know a lot of people are really wanting performance to improve. My performance is pretty good. I mean, I'm getting 30 frames right now. This is with max quality in terms of the FPS, 3 FPS plug-in. I'm at second highest for objects. I'm at second highest for most other visuals. I'm running the 4 screens, 3 and then this. I've got clouds. I'm at the second highest anti-alias setting. And it all works pretty well for me, so you know, I don't have any really huge complaints about performance. I always want more, but so far so good. Okay, pretty soon here we're going to be ready to start our descent. So let's get our descent checklist ready to go. Okay. Check and see how our performance is doing on the stream. Looks like the stream's performance is pretty good. Not a huge lag. Maybe a minute or two. I also don't know if I'm all the way caught up with you guys. Okay, we got to start thinking about and looking for traffic as well, coming in and out of here. Be interested if I looked at the world traffic radar. KFMY. Yeah, there's some traffic coming and going. Okay. Okay, so we'll come down, we fly over Charlotte Harbor, then we fly over Fort Myers, and I can already see the channel of water on the opposite side of Fort Myers, and by there we have to be to 1,000 feet. That's 1,200 foot Charlie airspace for Fort Myers International, South Florida, I think it's called, Southwest Florida, and then in addition, that's when we're going to be entering the Delta airspace for Page. Still got a pretty good wind coming across us here. Now, over here at 4,500 feet, we could just about get across if we had a problem. Okay, so we've got our descent checklist ready to go. Everything's looking green on the engine instruments. And we are wet. So, Oops, dropped my pen. So, by my own calculations about now, I would start my descent. So we'll just throttle back to 2,000. Let's get the ATIS. We're a little ways out yet, but can't hurt to get it early.
Page FLD information Oscar. 1400 Zulu weather. Wind 070 at 14, visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 11,000 few, temperature 19, dew point -13. Altimeter 3014. Arriving runway 05, departing runway 05. Advise on initial contact you have Oscar.
Okay. So we go over now to tower frequency for them, which is 119.0. Again, we're still a far bit ways out to talk to them. But if the wind is from 070, we're going to come in on 05, and they would tell us to make a probably left downwind entry into 05. So that's what we'll do. We could get across now if we lost the motor. We wouldn't have a lot of options, but there's a couple fields down there we might be able to get into. Looks like there's a field over there we could probably hit if we had a problem. Back's starting to get sore. Father, son, hey, good to see you. We're practicing Monday's cross country. You have PilotEdge and you guys want to jump into Page, KFMY, and fly the rest of the flight with me. It'd be great to have you join me. All right. Yeah, for some reason the traffic isn't making its way to the GPS. It usually does on world traffic, so not sure why that is, but it's all right. Just keep our eyes peeled. That's better training anyway, right? Coming down nicely. I can see the airport. There's also a bridge across there that's a landmark. We're on 05, then yeah, they're going to tell us to do left traffic and tell us to enter a left downwind for 05 is what they'll tell us. In a minute here, I'll set the OBS on the GPS to help me visualize that. The OBS on the GPS. It's easy for you to say. Okay, engine out options. There's a field right below me here I could probably make it into. There's a field over there I could probably make it into. The wind's coming straight across us now, so ideally I'd be landing that way. There's a road down there, probably is my best option, unless there's a bunch of power lines. I can't tell in the sim. Nice controlled descent. Okay, we're about 10 miles out here. In a minute we'll make our call. Awesome, James. Jim is going to join us at FMY. He's going to hold short of 5 and then take off after me. Great. Love it. And then Jim is from there to Arcadia, 06. We'll fly up at 2,500 feet. Heading's going to be 10. I'm running custom weather. I'm running winds of 14 at 070. That's kind of what the winds are right now, but I moved the clouds up just so that we weren't in IMC today. 07010 is what it's giving me there. That's pretty close. Okay, so 119.0. I wonder if that is just make sure that that is working.
Page FLD information
yeah, okay,
Oscar.
it is good. Yeah, we'll hold here at 2,000 for just 1 second. Well, while we make our call. Page Tower Archer 82746, 10 miles. Okay, I gotta be ready before I do that. Always practice the call first. Where am I? I'm north. I always get my directions mixed up, which is bad for a pilot. I am northwest. Page Tower Archer 82746, 10 miles northwest, 2,000 inbound full stop, or inbound for the option, is what I'll tell them. They'll come back and they'll say, gotcha, inbound for the option. I can see Jim and the traffic at the field now. Still not showing up on this, but that's okay. I see him on my five, and I'd say left traffic for 05, 82746. They'd probably tell me to report midfield or something like that, although they'll have me on radar, so. Still not seeing him on my traffic for some reason. I wouldn't be doing this in the real thing, so I shouldn't be doing it now. Okay, we're still coming down. We got to be below 1,200 feet here pretty soon. Could always do a little turn if I needed to. Uh-oh, Jim disappeared. Hope he didn't crash again. I could see him there a second ago. Okay, I've got the bridge, I've got the airport. We have successfully gotten under the Bravo, or the Charlie airspace, which is good. Level off at 1,000 feet. We wanted to be at 1,000 feet 5 miles out, and we are going to be at 1,000 feet 5 miles out. That is good. Okay, keep it at about 2,000 because we want to be at about 90 knots when we get into the pattern down here. So we're going to trim for a slower speed and start lining up. Now I can go OBS and I can make it 0. Oops. In the airplane that I fly, it's easier than this because you actually do it on the HSI. There. Now I see my runway heading. Okay, landing checklist. Okay, we've got pressure on the brakes. Our undercarriage is welded. Mixture full. Magnetos are to both. Fuel is on the proper tank. Fuel pump on. Landing light on. Oil pressure all is good. Everything is locked. Seat backs are set. Carb heat on. No autopilot. Landing lights are on. We're all ready to go. I think Jim crashed again. I don't see him on PilotEdge. It's frustrating when your PC doesn't work when it's supposed to work and how it's supposed to work. There are 2,000 RPM. Everything's looking good. Okay. All right. Column. Pitch tower Archer 82746 joining left downwind 05. They tell me I'm cleared to land. They tell me I'm cleared for the option. Cleared for the option, Archer 82746. Okay, we're at our touchdown point. Throttle back to 1700. We're going to pitch for 80. Hold it here. Send, pitch for 80. There we go. That's not good. The Garmin just reset for some reason. All right, pitch for 80. We're pitch for 80, first flaps. Okay, make our turn. Line downhill, that's the point. Got that wind working on us pretty good. Lost our OBS, but that's okay. Next flaps. The wind is now blowing 20. Ooh. Gonna have some ground speed here. Okay, we're getting a little slow. We'll be just a little faster than 75 is where I want to be. I can feel that headwind coming now. I'm on PilotEdge, father, son. Joining and loading sim. McShiggity, I'm flying into Fort Myers, and I'm on the tower frequency, which is 119.0. That's Page, not Fort Myers International. We can talk on 123.45 to do the brief as soon as I'm going. In fact, I'll just go to 123.45. PilotEdge radio check. Doesn't look like they have anybody yet. Final flaps. Under marker, we are fast. This headwind, I don't need to be that fast. I'm gonna land and do a full stop and taxi around. There we go, now we're slower where I wanna be. $70 over the fence, 65 are the numbers. I'm gonna just taxi right here. See if you guys can join me. So for those who might join us, all right, we got 2 of us here. I'm gonna go over to the ground frequency now. Let me just type a message for these guys here. Brief on 123.45.
Page FLD information.
Radio check, you guys on?
Yep, McChickadee Pilot, 747 Kilo Tango.
Excellent. I think I see you over on the ramp. I'm taxiing over there now. I'm going to taxi up and go on 05. I'm going up to Arcadia next, which is X06, I think, or 0X6. And then up to Albert Whitted SPG from there. I'm going to go up at 2,500 feet.
Okay, we'll switch over, we'll go direct 0X Ray 6.
Yep, 0X6 is the next waypoint, and I'm going to switch over to, well, it looks like Jim might be on. I don't know if Jim's ready to, on the frequency or not. Jim, can you hear us? Okay, well, I'm going to switch over to ground, and I'll hear you there. Okay, what's our ground frequency here? Our ground frequency is 121.8. No, let's see. Where am I? 121.7. Page ground, Archer 2746, clear of 05, like taxi back 05, north departure. They tell me to do that, and then I would taxi down to do that. Yeah, formation of Pipers. I don't know where this is taking me. Taking me over here. That taxiway isn't there on the chart, for what that's worth. Okay, direct X 0X7, is that what I said? X6. No, it's X06. X-ray.
Fort Myers ground radio check.
5x5.
Fort Myers radio check 7 Kilo Tango.
5x5. Okay. Cool, we got 3 of us here. Okay, I think I see Jim. Okay, Jim, I'm right behind you.
I'm gonna taxiing over here.
Uh-oh, I hope we didn't lose Jim. No, he just moved. There he goes. Uh-oh. I guess he's gonna let me go by. All right. All right. Let's go over to tower 119.0. Page tower Arcadia 2746, holding 07, ready for takeoff. They'd say cleared for takeoff, on course turn approved. Cleared for takeoff, on course turn approved, 82746. Okay. Now, let's pre-check. Let's make sure everything's working. Fuel pump is on. Beacon line and line is on. Strobe is on. Carb heat is off. Trim is set to neutral. That goes up. That goes down. Our controls work. I don't think anybody's coming. Okay, we're on the center line. Everything's green. Let's start our timer. And let's start our custom timer 30 minutes start. Get ourselves on the new tank. Full power. RPM's where they should be. Engine instruments are green. Airspeed's alive. On the center line. Approaching our takeoff point. Rotate. That headwind, we go straight up. And we gotta stay at 1,000 feet here because we've got the Charlie on top of us. And we are ready for an engine out if we need it. If we need it, we're gonna go straight down. Okay, 700 feet. We can make our turn. And we got to keep it below 1,000 feet here. We're going to fly a heading of 10. Okay, I think we're back. I think we're back. I hope we're back. Had a little bit of a problem there. There's a USB driver that this thing will work for hours and hours and hours, and it just crashes for no apparent reason. But it looks like we're back, and it looks like the stream is working. And we'll see how long we go. It's a USB driver, usbvideo.sys, and I took out the I thought I fixed it by getting rid of all the VR stuff, because I think it saw it as conflicting cameras, and yet it just crashed on me again. So let me mute that. So hopefully this is working, and hopefully this is better than what we had. And we'll see if, yep, so we're streaming again. Okay. Well, that was crazy. Okay, so let's see if we can get the weather again here. Poor Jim, PE voice 121.8. McShiggity, do we still have you? He's up there. Probably not high enough to talk to him. Let's see what his freak is. He's on 121.8. Okay, well, I'm going to go. So let's go. I was just adjusting a setting. There we go. Straight up. Okay, we turn here. And again, we want to stay below 1,000 feet. Radio check on 121.8.
Oh, there you are. I was wondering what happened to everything. I'm trying to watch you, but the stream died out.
Yeah, I've been having some problems. I'm not quite sure what the issue is.
So I'm up here at about 3,000 feet and about 17 miles from our destination, south of the destination. I don't know what happened.
Nothing happened other than my whole PC crashed the desktop, so I had to reboot from scratch.
You started back at the origination airport?
No, I started back at Fort Myers, so I'm flying up to Arcadia now.
Oh, okay. So I was heading up to that X06.
Yeah, that's Arcadia. That's where I'm going.
Oh, that is Arcadia. Okay, that's where I'm heading.
So I'm on my way. I'll be there in about 20 minutes.
All right, I got 10 minutes to go, 8 minutes to go.
Okay, we've got traffic now, so that's working. That's good. Uh, 123.45 in case Jim comes back and joins us.
123.45 will go there now.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
All
so
right, November 747 Kilo Tango's on 123.45.
8476 has you. 82746. Okay. I don't think my trim wheel is working. Looks like we're getting back to having USB problems again. That's a hassle. We'll just do our best and forget the rest. Raj. Jim keeps crashing, I'm crashing, USB hubs aren't working. It's all just craziness today. So I guess this is beta life. I guess that's what we have to just say, is it's beta life. This is what happens. But it is a hassle. There's our traffic. Okay, we're reading traffic. That's an improvement over where we were before. We are out from under the Charlie. So now we can go up again to 2,500 feet. We're looking for radio towers here. Yeah, so with the trim wheel, the SciTech trim wheel, you gotta wake it up before you boot the sim, otherwise it doesn't like it. I'm not sure why. It just is the way it is. Okay, we are back. Sorry for that to everybody who had to deal with the intermission. Not sure why things crashed. They just did. I think it's something happens that conflicts with the driver I use for the webcam. It's a GoPro, and it's running the Elgato Camlink software, and it usually works really well. But every once in a while, I find it doesn't like what we're doing. I'm going to increase my visibility here. Well, that visibility is pretty realistic, I guess. Okay. Going up 2,500 feet. Maybe Windows is doing its update thing again. I'm not a fan of when that happens. Well, one thing I can do is I could adjust well, let's see, what do I want to adjust to be flaps? Or trim. I could adjust something else to be trim. Hello, Robin. So far it's been going okay. We just had a full crash to desktop that sort of put us back on our heels a little bit, but we're doing all right. We're practicing a real-world flight I'm planning to do on Monday. Okay, we're coming at 2,500 feet. I think what I'll do is I'm going to quickly configure on the Yoko my thumb to be trimmed down. So pitch trim, this will be pitch trim up. There we go. And this will be pitch trim down. That'll help.
Arcadia traffic, November 747 Kilo Tangos with 10 miles to the south.
And then we're going to go to
We'll be
the
entering in
yoke.
a left face for 247 Arcadia traffic.
And we're going to make this flaps. Reverse the axis. Okay, let's see if that works. Yep. Alright, so we've got that set to flaps. Let's see if this does our trim. Yep, that does our trim. Okay, quick impromptu fix there to deal with the trim wheel not working. You don't want to fly without trim. That's no way to go. Okay, so here we're going to be looking for the big needles over here. There are towers just this side of us. I can't quite see them in the sim, but I know they're out there. Let's get a more recent barometric pressure from KFMY, 123.725.
Intercept LAX
HFLD
17 radio
information
to
echo.
Limbo for 10.
1600 Zulu weather. Wind 070 at 14. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 11,000 few. Temperature 19.
I wonder why we're picking up.
-13.
We shouldn't be
Altimeter 3014.
picking up PilotEdge out here.
Arriving runways 0513. Departing runways 0513.
Curious.
Advise on initial contact you have echo. Page FLD information echo. 1600 Zulu weather. Wind 070 at 14. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 11,000 few. Temperature 19. Dew point -13. Altimeter 3014. Arriving runway.
Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to hop over to the CTAF frequency for Arcadia 123.0. Well, I'm going to just stay on that frequency. We'll just stay on this frequency so we don't conflict with anybody else. So, since we're flying on PilotEdge, we should be able to switch to the actual frequencies and not step on anything because PilotEdge limits range. But when I switched over there to that other radio, I actually heard a call on PilotEdge, somebody going into LAX, so I'm not sure what that's about. I don't want to be stepping on people on the network, so I'll probably just keep it 123.45. And then, although I would go over to 123.0 if I were here.
Arcadia traffic number 747 Kilo Tango will be entering the 45 for 24 Arcadia.
2-4, huh? Okay, that's good to know. Okay, up here, going past Sarasota on our right, or Punta Gorda, sorry. Been there before. Still have traffic behind us here. There we go. Okay, we've got our trim working. Arcadia is 800 feet pattern altitude. So if we're at 2,500 feet, we want to lose about 2,000 feet, 500 feet a minute. That's going to take 4 minutes. At a ground speed of 100 knots, that's going to take us
Arcadia traffic
7 minutes.
747 Kilo Tango is
7
on
miles.
the left downwind 24 Arcadia.
So about 10 miles out, we'll start our descent. We're about 16 miles out right now. Arcadia is a little hard to see. We'll have to keep our eyes open. Somebody's right behind us. Let's see who that is. And okay, been 30 minutes. Time to switch tanks. Fuel pump is on. We'll swap. Positive fuel flow off. So behind us, there's Scott and an Epic. He's going someplace else. Oops. James got online. All right. James. 123.45. What's he on? He's on 119.0. Hey James, we're making all the calls on 123.45 just to make it easier. I think you heard me. Okay. All right, James, he didn't give up. So that's James Elder right behind me there.
Arcadia traffic number 747 Kilo Tango, left base Arcadia.
Are you willing to do around the world in your sim? I'm not sure. That's a good question. Okay. 14 miles out of Arcadia. We've just passed Punta Gorda Airport, which is over behind us. Visibility is probably what it's going to be. Kind of hazy. And when we come out of Arcadia, we're going to actually track our radial. We're going to track the 312 radio outbound of LaBelle, which is 110.4.
Arcadia traffic 747 Kilo Tango, turn
let's get-
final
let's get ready for
24
that.
Arcadia.
Let's get ready for that. To ident that. Yep. It's Arcadia and what did I say, the 312 radio? Okay. 10 miles out. Jim's still behind us. Starting to look for the airport here. It's not the easiest thing in the world to see. So if Sarasota is blowing 080
Arcadia,
at 13,
Arcadia traffic, radio check.
5x5.
November 747 Kilo Tango is clear, runway 24 Arcadia.
Okay, we're going to go into 06. Arcadia traffic, Archer 82746, 10 miles south, 2,500. We'll be making right, we'll be making left downwind entry for 06 Arcadia. Okay, so to do that, to go into 06, I don't want to fly over the field. So I'm actually going to fly to the west of the field, or the east of the field, and make traffic from that way. And the reason why, I was reading something in AOPA that made a good point, which is if everybody tries to overfly the field, and they end up making, everybody in the world is making overflights coming from all kinds of directions, that starts to get a little dangerous. We can start to go down now, we're 10 miles out. So it may be safer to maneuver and then make a proper downwind entry. So I'm going to fly out to the east of the field and then come in so I can make left traffic into 06. I'll make that call when we're at 5 miles. And hopefully everything keeps working. Okay, descent checklist. Carb heat on as required. It's off right now. Airspeed is where it should be. Mixture full, rich. ATIS we have. There's no weather here. Wind, we've got it based on the prevailing winds. And it's 800 feet pattern altitude here. Some guys might just make that straight in entry or make right traffic into 06. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to play by the rules. The VFR rules. Alright, 5 miles out. Arcadia traffic, Archer 82746, 5 miles south of the field, 1,500. We're going to move over to the east of the field, well off the departure end, and then make left traffic into 06 Arcadia. We'll be... Uh-oh. Now what just happened? If it crashes again now, I'm going to lose it. Loading scenery, perhaps. Must be. Or it's a Windows update. Something's tanking it.
Arcadia traffic. Gloria 76 Kilo Tango, taxiing runway 6. Arcadia.
Okay, Arcadia Airport is going to be right over there. Jim's behind us. Zero 60. Okay, now we've got our, can visualize that a little more easily. Coming down to 1,200 feet, 800 feet is going to be our landing altitude, or pattern altitude. Here's 800 feet. Airport is hard to see. We are looking for it. Okay, 1,000 feet. We'll hold it here. Okay, we are beam the airport now. Make sure we're not heading toward any towers over here. There's one there 300 feet, one there 400 feet. We got to be careful for those.
Might be better coming in on 2-4, or you'll have a tailwind the other way. Looks like with the windsock here.
I'm running custom weather, so I've got actually 13 miles coming straight down the pipe, so I'm coming in on 06.
Okay.
Okay. Arcadia traffic, Archer 82746. We're entering a distant upwind for, entering a distant crosswind for 06. Then we'll be entering on the downwind for 06. That's all left traffic, Arcadia. That's a very inelegant call, but it'll work.
Arcadia traffic, Cessna 747 Romeo Delta, 4 miles to the south. We'll be overflying midfield and teardrop onto the left 40-45 for runway 6.
Okay, so Jim and I can have an argument. We can have a discussion, an informed discussion about the safest way to get into that pattern. Now the danger here is you could have somebody who's coming on takeoff who could hit you. but I'm far enough away, and I would be generally below. And I've called myself on the pattern. You know, I've said that I'm on a crosswind. Arcadia traffic, Arch 2746 on the crosswind for left traffic 06, Arcadia.
The runway marking says 5 on X-plane.
Yeah, I built my own scenery for it, so it's appropriate. It's 06 in the real world right now.
Okay.
It's just out of date in the model on the sim. Okay. Arcadia traffic, Arch 2746 turning left downwind for 06, Arcadia. Okay, fuel pump, beacon landing light, strobes, mixture, trim. And now we can come in a little bit on the 45 here. Probably not the way I would do it. I would have flown a little tighter pattern. We'll have to be paying attention to that next week. That wind is really cranking for us. We are really moving. Okay, 100 feet, throttle back to 2,000. Straighten out our pattern. Trim. Report improved it from the one that was in the sim on X-Plane, and I'll upload it at some point to the org. Jim's coming right at me over flight, going right over the top. Okay, we're at the numbers. First notch flaps. Throttle back.
Arcadia traffic, Cessna 747 Romeo Delta, left 45 for runway 6, number 2.
Arcadia traffic, Arch 2746, turning left base 06, Arcadia.
Arcadia traffic, Cessna
why I do
747
ground
Romeo
reference
Delta,
maneuvers.
left downwind runway 6, behind the landing traffic.
Next notch. Arcadia traffic, Arch 2746, turning final 06, Arcadia. Well, with that gusting 15-mile-an-hour wind that's a little across us, it's now reading 23.
Arcadia traffic, Cessna 7 Romeo Delta, turning left base runway 6, number 2, Arcadia.
There's Jim. I can see him out there. Cool. All right. Got ourselves trimmed here. We're 75. A little high. That's okay. Arcadia traffic, Arch 2746 is short final 06. We'll be on the go, Arcadia.
Arcadia traffic, 7 Romeo Delta, turning final runway 6, touch and go, Arcadia.
Dead stick this baby now.
Warrior 747 Kilo Tango, a holding short of 6 will be number 3 for takeoff.
A long landing, but A2746 is going full stop. I ate up too much runway.
Arcadia traffic, 7 Romeo Delta, short final runway 6.
Got to get off the runway for him. Don't want a runway incursion. A2746 is clear of 06.
7 Romeo Delta clear of 05. I'm going to taxi back.
7 Kilo Tango, we're sitting off the grass off of 5.
Jim, the FAA calls. They want to explain that runway incursion.
Yeah, well, you were on 6, I was on 5, so I think we're okay.
And I thought you two were taking off.
I landed real long, and so I didn't want to do a touch and go.
Yeah, so I stopped to wait for him.
Arcadia traffic, Archer 2746 taxiing back to 06 Arcadia.
Warrior 7 Kilo Tango taxiing back to runway 5, Arcadia.
Okay, what plane am I using?
Where are we off to next? Back to KSPG?
Yeah, and I'm going to fly out on the 312 radio of the LaBelle VOR, if you're going to do VOR navigation. And then there's a visual reporting point just on the east side of Tampa Bay from SPG called Ruskin. And from there, it's straight across. The only thing to look out on this leg is obviously the Bravo airspace. And then also there's an unlit tower, 1,800 feet, just west of the route of flight that in local parlance is called the Needle of Death. You'll want to avoid that too.
I'll try to avoid the needle of death. I think I'll just tail you in.
Fair enough.
I'll follow everybody else. 7 Kilo Tango.
Looks like we lost. I wonder.
Holding short, runway 05. Let me know when you're ready to go.
Yeah. Looks like
What's the frequency for that LaBelle VOR?
110.4. Okay, we lost our compass for some reason. That unit has not power cycled. Guess I can try it one more time.
I'm looking on full flight for the VOI. Oh, I see it there now. It's to the east of Tampa.
Are you looking for the VOR?
Affirmative.
Yeah, it is south. It's actually southeast of us. So it's a radial out of it's east of Sarasota, or I'm sorry, east of Fort Myers.
Yeah, I got it. Just to the northeast of LaBelle. You see it there.
All right. Arcadia traffic, Archer 2746 is departing 06. We'll be making a crosswind departure to the north, Arcadia.
Arcadia traffic, Cessna 747 Romeo Delta taking runway
Fuel
5.
pump
We'll
beacon
make a
landing.
left crosswind departure. Arcadia.
Nobody's coming. Yeah, it does say 05 here. That's right. It says 06 on the chart. Interesting. Full power. We'll have to repaint the runway. Okay, RPMs are good. Engine instruments are green. Airspeed is alive. We're on the center line. Rotation speed. And we're off.
Arcadia traffic, November 747 Kilo Tango, departing runway 5. We'll be departing to the northwest 7 Kilo Tango, Arcadia traffic.
Okay. Pitch for 76. Okay, 700 feet, make our turn. And then we're going to track this radial. Arcadia traffic, Archer 2746, turning left, crosswind 06, will be departing to the north, last call, Arcadia. Okay,
Arcadia traffic, Cessna 747 Romeo Delta,
Start our
turning left,
timer.
crosswind runway 5, departing to the north, last call.
321 should be about our heading. We're going to go up to 2,500 feet. We're going to intercept this radial and track it all the way up.
Arcadia traffic number 747 Kilo Tango, turning left cross traffic. Departing to the north, west, last call.
Departing to the north. Boy, he sounds like a Bostonian. Okay. Start getting ready for the cruise checklist. I wonder if it's going to have that reporting point in there. Getting traffic alerts. Yeah, we are on a Piper Archer today. Yes. No, it's listed in the most recent charts as 06. It says on the most recent satellite imagery 05. I think everyone will know what we mean when we get there in the real world. Okay, now we're going to go intercept our radial. 2,500 feet on the way up. Traffic right behind us. Oh, watch our altitude here. Boy, it's one of those days, eh guys? I tell you what. It's just been, hasn't been one problem after the next, but that's 2 crashes. This one had nothing to do with the sim. We had a power outage at the house. So the power just went completely out across the whole house. Everything stopped working. The whole PC shut down. I mean, everything was not as it should be. We're back. And now maybe we can actually go where we're supposed to go, and where we're supposed to go is Ruskin. I'm going to take the trouble to turn on world traffic real quick. Just takes a second for it to do. Boy, that was a pain. I guess some days it's just like that, you know? Power goes out. Holy cow. So, for anybody who's been trying to watch this, I apologize. It has been more than a bit of a pain. I believe things are working. Let's see if we can pick up anything. 123.45. Yeah, no kidding. Me too. That makes 2 of us. All right. Generate flight routes. No, the whole house shut down. Everything just stopped. So it was a full crash of everything in the entire system, which surprises me and disappoints me at the same time. Okay, we've got plenty of traffic flying around. All right, let's go. Arcadia traffic, Archer 2746, departing 06, Arcadia. Okay, let's see if we do any better this time. terms of things not exploding into a million pieces. Got a lot of traffic around us. Okay, let's see if we can get any weather from anything. Let's see if we can get Punta Gorda weather, or what's its ATIS? 135.675. There we go, VOR is working. Arcadia traffic, Archer 2746, turning left crosswind, will be departing to the north, Arcadia.
Punta Gorda information Lima. 1600 Zulu weather. Wind 070 at 14, visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 11,000 few, temperature 19, dew point -13. Altimeter 3014. Arriving runway 04, departing run.
Okay. What a hassle. Alright, let's start everything from over again. Let's do a new lap. Let's start a new timer. McShiggity, I gotcha. Radio check on 123. Oh, I gotta join PilotEdge.
Connected to PilotEdge.
There we go. Radio check on 123.45.
Loud and clear.
5x5.
Yeah, I had a power outage. The entire house, everything shut down.
Needle of death. That's what it was.
Yeah, God, I hope not.
So I'm heading back your direction. I'm going to try to link up with you.
I'll do
Nice.
the sign.
Yeah, I see you coming in.
I'll make a 180, head back. I'm 30 miles from the destination airport. I'll head back.
Yeah, or, you know, do whatever makes you happy. Who knows how long this is going to last. Okay, chasing our needle, but not the needle of death.
What altitude are you going to fly northbound?
2,500.
All right, I'm coming back at you at 3,500. Maybe you could just give an occasional update on your distance from SPG.
I'm at 4,500, heading back towards Arcadia.
Romeo Delta, you and I are 3 miles in closing.
Okay, give it about 30 more seconds and I'm going to turn around.
Is the dog in the back seat?
Yep, it's a hectic here at home today.
Alright, so I'm looking for him.
I got you in sight. I'm going to make a 180 and descend behind you.
Yeah, I've got positive contact on you. There he goes. Okay, we've caught our needle. Our heading should be about 321 with the winds.
TCAS alert.
Yep, that's Jim. Okay. I wonder if I've got my trim wheel working again. Yep, good. So now I will change the Yoko yoke. So this is now my Yoko yoke. Don't tell me this just crashed now. Okay. Uh-oh. That's going to be flaps. flaps up a notch. And this here is going to be flaps down a notch.
So that first Bravo shelf is 6,000 and then 3,000 above KSPG?
No, so your first Bravo shelf is 6,000. Sorry, first Bravo shelf is 6,000. Then it goes down to 3,000, and then where we are getting close to Ruskin, it's 1,200. And so you actually fly across the bay at 1,000 feet. Pattern altitude at SPG is 800 feet.
I just lost you on PilotEdge. I don't see you in front of me anymore.
I'm connected. I had to change a setting. I think you passed me. That's okay. You're right in front of me. Yeah, so I'll formation fly with you. What's your altitude?
I'm showing 3,000, but what is your altimeter setting?
3014. I'm looking for him. There he is. I've got visual on you. I'm coming up on your left side.
I'm gonna descend down to 2,500.
Let's go do some formation flying with Jim here.
Yeah, I'll go down to 2.5 as well. Let me know if I need to pull back the throttle a little bit for you.
TCAS alert.
You're fine. There you go, I lost him. There he is. Make sure my flaps are going the right direction. Flaps. I got him flipped. That's okay. I'll just deal with it later. Okay, so John, you should be looking for pilot. You should be trying out PilotEdge. It's a 2-week free trial. It's well worth it. Okay, coming down to 2,500 feet.
TCAS alert.
That's our.
Oh, I see you. At 12 o'clock. I'm at 3,000.
Looking for traffic.
I've got you.
I got one.
No, I got you in sight.
Okay, we're going to catch up to James here. Be like DCS. So here's Jim right here. Here's McShiggity.
Okay, we're heading back. I got you in sight. I'm on your 9 o'clock.
I've got contact.
Yeah, I've got contact as well.
There's Jim.
Well, this is very cool.
I just passed your left wing, Jim.
Oh yeah, I got you in sight.
Okay, back to flying where we're supposed to be flying. So we've got the needle of death coming up on our right up here, on our left, I mean. Let's get those mixed up. We've got... We're tracking our radial. We should be flying ahead of me about 321. So we're getting over to that. So John,
So I show it's tracking real close on the 1-3 radial.
yeah, I'm right on it. I've got a 14 knot crosswind here, so I'm flying a heading of about 321.
Looks like I must have similar weather because I'm on about that same heading.
I changed the clouds, but I still have the regular real winds on here, I think. I have 117, 120 knot ground speed.
Yeah, I'm 124, but I'm trying to close up on him.
I'm 125, I can slow down. I am in a 180 horsepower bird.
Okay, no, I'll just push the throttle in a little more. I thought you were still not Archer.
Yeah, the Archer's 180 horsepower.
I got Just Flight's Warrior too.
That's a great aircraft. Okay, so we're back. It's been
Yeah, it is.
It's been crazy, but we are back. And we've had all kinds of challenges. Power outages here at the house that forced a restart. USB driver that crashed that forced a restart. Jim Elder has had restarts. I just don't know what's going on. Okay, needle of death is coming up on our left. All right. Okay, so we're on our way back to Albert Whitted and the general Tampa Bay area. We've got a flight of 3 here hanging in together. If I go to the traffic view, we're so close. We're in essence on top of each other. That's pretty funny. For visual navigation, there's a lake up here. I can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it yet, but it's about here, and we sort of go right over the western third of that. I sure hope this is loading scenery and not crashing on me again. Just saw the network go down. Something happened. It's not good. Ugh. So something's happening that's making the Garmin reset. And I don't know what that is, but I have a feeling that these problems are all related with each other. I don't know what that would be, but there's something going on. Something's not right. Something's not talking to each other the way I would want to.
Alert.
Okay, there's one of our guys. Right up there. I think I'm behind both of them now. My sim paused for a minute or two to load scenery or something, and you guys both passed me, so I'm behind you now, but I'll catch up. I've got visual on both of you.
I got visual on our leader.
Yeah, I was wondering where you guys went.
VP 059. Let's see if it'll do that. VP. Visual point 059.
Is this will we have any aileron trim? Because it keeps rolling on me. I take my hands off the yoke.
I think it may have an aileron trim down in the middle of the center console. Nope, doesn't recognize it.
Yeah, it's labeled nose. I thought that might be rudder trim.
Okay, VFR, the right line here is right over the western third of this lake in front of us. And there's a big power plant there which might show up on your scenery depending on what you're using. Those stacks are sort of right along the line of where you want to go, and then we don't have much further to go. We've got the Bravo right on top of us, so we need to get below, make sure we're below 3,000. I've crept up a little bit, so I'm going to go back down.
All right, descending to 2,500.
And the next shelf after this is 12, so you go down to 1, not too long after that.
Before we hit that next water, is it 1,200?
Yes, it is. Well, it's about halfway between the end of this lake and that next water is Tampa Bay.
Okay, I'm going to go down to 1,000 then.
It's good advice.
All right, heading down to 1,000.
Brickyard, good to see
After I
you.
pass the lake.
Good to see you. We've got a nice formation. We got 3 of us coming in here.
Did we pass the Tower of Death yet?
Yeah, the Tower of Death was about, it was a ways back.
Looks like a radio antenna. It's 1,749 feet.
Unlit. Okay, we're going down to 2,000. I'm getting some great video of you, Jim. You should rock your wings. That looks awesome.
I can see that power plant. I've got ortho for this area. It looks really great.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so there's Jim right in front of us.
So I'm gonna head over towards that, what's that, Manatee Airport, 48 X-ray?
Yeah, the visual point that we're going to be going to is actually about 6 miles up the coast from that. But you can go to Manatee just as well.
I'm going to slow and let you pass me so I can follow you in.
Roger that.
I think I'll head over towards Manatee. I have no ortho here.
Jim and I are flying in formation here. Off your right wing, Jim.
Are you a little high?
I show just below you.
I should be just off to your left.
Okay, Jim, on your ortho, you can see this sort of bay that comes in off the bay. It's it kind of works into a body of lakes and things like that. There's a town in front of it. That's Ruskin. So we got to get down to 1,200 feet now. I'm way too high.
I'm showing 1,200 feet, just short of that water now.
Okay, I may have to do a turn here. We'll see. I'll get the ATIS to 118.875. Yeah, I'm going to do a turn here to get down to 1,000 feet. Just a quick 360.
You still have me in sight? I've lost track of you.
I think I'm behind you. I think I was formation flying on McShiggity, and so I thought it was you, and it wasn't you. You all look like Cessnas to me. But where are you? You can just where are you? Give me a visual.
I'm circling at 1,300 feet here, just before those series of rivers that hit Tampa Bay.
Okay, are you on the? Have you crossed over the big highway there yet?
Looking for that highway. I don't think so.
I think you're still. I'm okay. I'm coming around on one of you right now.
TCAS alert.
I've got
Tricky
you.
airspace flying there.
Yeah, get down to 1,000 feet. Okay, I think I see you circling, Jim. You're gonna see me in just a second.
Yep, I got you inside.
Okay, back to our plan. 1,000 feet.
I'm just heading down to 1,000, heading direct Manatee 48 X-ray.
Okay, I'm gonna get the weather.
Albert Whitted Information Lima. 1600 Zulu weather. Wind 070 at 14, visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 11,000 few, temperature 19, dew point -13. Altimeter 3014. Arriving runway 36, departing runway 36.
Okay, my winds are set. I'm going to be coming in on 07. So if that's the case, the way you fly this in the real world is we come up over the coast here. I can actually see Tropicana Field.
Directly over 48 X-ray right now.
Okay, so the way you fly this is you go in at 800, you go in at 1,000 feet, and then as you get within striking distance of Whitted, you go down to 800, which is pattern altitude. For my winds, which are 070, we're going to land on 070, and for where we're coming from, they'll make us do right traffic into that. So you'll fly in over St. Pete, make right traffic, and land on 07. That's the plan from here.
Okay, I'm heading to west. I see St. Pete, the airport's to my north. At 800 feet. Coming up over Tampa Bay.
All right, well, it sounds like you're ahead of us, so you just go for it. We'll follow you. Jim, I'm just to your right and maybe a little behind you.
Yeah, I've got you in.
All right.
I got you in sight.
Wooded Tower, RJ2746 is over Ruskin, inbound, full stop.
We're 747 kilos tangles at 1,000 feet. We're about 4 miles south of runway 36 at Whitted.
Come on. I know what I'm trying to do. Why is this so hard? Come on!
So 7 kilo tango, we're at 1,000 feet. We're gonna head right for Bocaciga Bay for runway 7, right base for runway 7 at Whitted.
There we go. 070. What I want. Okay.
I gotta get some ortho around here. I think it would be nice.
Ian, I'm seeing your note. No, I just didn't plan it very well. It was just operator error. It's just not a very good flight.
Wooded traffic, Cessna 7 Romeo Delta, 6.5 miles out for right downwind entry, runway 7, Whitted. I've got both of you guys in sight. It's really cool.
I think I just busted the Bravo. All right, descent check.
Good morning. I'm getting down. I can see the line coming up here. I'm still at 1100.
Well, you're talking to Whitted, so you're good, but you can't go above 1200 or else you're in the Bravo, and then you've got real trouble. So as long as you're below 1200, you're okay. Okay. Wooded
You could
Tower.
always
Wooded Tower, Archer 2746, entering, going to be making a 45-degree entry right traffic into 07. Wooded.
Actually, it was the blimp was the other person I was looking at.
Yeah, I went in and deleted that from my software. It takes up a lot of, there's a lot of eye candy in that airport that I think hurts performance. Okay, we're going down to 800 feet. This
Wooded
is
traffic,
where we want
Cessna
to
7
be.
Romeo Delta, 4 miles out on the right 45, runway 7, Wooded.
Yeah, I don't think they've fixed the Piper yet.
Wooded
Okay.
traffic, 747 Kilo Tango's 2 mile right base for runway 7 wooded.
Okay, we're all set. We're configured for landing. We're at 800 feet, which is pattern altitude. We're flying about 90 knots, which is where I want to be. What if Tower Archer 2746? I guess we wouldn't be talking tower, we're doing CTAF calls, right? So, Whitted, Archer 2746 entering the right downwind for 07, Whitted. Okay. Got a big tailwind cranking on us now. That's sort of just like what it
Yeah,
what
wooded
the
traffic, northwest 747 Kilo Tango, turn and final runway 7 wooded.
final. He should be in front of us.
Wooded
Not
traffic,
seeing
Cessna
him.
7 Romeo Delta, turning right downwind, runway 7, number
Okay,
2,
touchdown
landing full
point.
stop, Wooded.
Touchdown point, throttle back, trim for 80 knots. First notch. Okay. Get ourselves set for 80 knots. There we go. I like that. Wooded Tower, Archer 2746, turning left base, right base, 07, Wooded. Gotta fly downhill. Doesn't land up in the sky. Next notch. Wooded Tower, Archer 2746, turning final 07, Wooded. I keep saying Wooded Tower, I'm just conditioned to saying Wooded Tower. Alright, here we come. That wind took us a little bit off our line, but that's okay. We want to trim for about 75 now.
Wooded Tower, Cessna 7 Romeo Delta, turning right base, runway 7, behind the Archer, Wooded.
Nice stabilized approach. Here we go. Final flaps. $75 knots, that's right where I want to be.
Wooded Tower, Cessna 7 Romeo Delta, turning final, runway 7, landing number 2, Wooded.
Nice stabilized approach here.
Wooded traffic, 747 Kilo Tango, 2 mile, final runway 7 wooded.
Got a little bit of a crab.
Wow, we're stacked up now.
It's just like real world at this place.
Looks like a beautiful area for flying over the water.
A lot of the throttle.
Wooded traffic, Cessna 7 Romeo Delta, 1 mile
Little
final,
Float,
landing full stop, runway 7, Wooded.
float, float, float. There we go. Within the touchdown zone. We want to really want to clear it here if we can. We made it. Good. Wooded Archer 2746, clear of 07. Wooded. Okay, let's turn here so we can see these guys come in. You guys look cool.
We are cool.
Here they come. He greased it. He greased it. You greased it, Jim.
Yeah, not too bad.
Go below, here comes McShiggity Pilot.
You got it.
Wooded traffic, Cessna 7 Romeo Delta, clear of runway 7.
Here comes McShiggity. Oh, a little floater. There he goes. He's down. Another successful landing. All right.
This jet flight plane just drops out of the sky and there's no flare in this thing.
Yep, and I could see that. You were just over the runway and then you just suddenly were down.
You have to put power in to land. It doesn't make sense.
All right, so I'm taxiing back to St. Pete Air. Okay, so there we go. It wasn't always easy on this one. We had a sim crash because of a USB driver error at one point, so we had to reload down at Fort Myers. Luckily, we were just off Fort Myers when that happened. Then we had another sim crash because I had a power outage in the house, which killed power for everything in the whole house. And luckily, we were just off Arcadia when we had done that. And then we finally made it in. There's Jim coming to park. This is cool. This is a lot of fun doing this with more than one person. All right.
Yeah, that was really fun.
That was great.
So the stream was all captured, and YouTube will record it, so you guys can go back and watch. And I don't know, it probably recorded it as 3 separate videos because of the crashes, but it's all there, and you should be able to see, you know, the landing and everything else that you did. Brickyard, thanks for the compliment.
All right, thanks guys. It was fun flying with you today.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. That was really fun. I had to shut off the YouTube feed because there's a delay, which makes it really confusing with PilotEdge. So.
Yeah, I fly with the audio off so that I can't hear it.
Yes, good idea.
All right, thanks again. All right,
All
everybody.
right, talk to you again.
That was a blast. Everybody,
I'd like
thanks
to
for
do this
watching.
again.
And that's the practice of the real world flight for Monday. So hopefully it goes easily and everything works. And again, thanks for watching On the Glide Slope. If you have questions about this simulator, you can get them answered at www.ontheglideslope.net. And if you have a specific question, you can try to post that question either there or via email, and I'll answer it if I can. There we go. And if I can't get to it right away, I try to get to them eventually. So we'll try to figure out why this USB hub is crashing now, probably a power loading issue, and other than that, things seem to be working reasonably well. And everybody, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next stream or video. And thanks for the good luck wishes.